First, let's talk about the coronation. Obviously, this is Coronation Week, and in the studio we have TalkTV's royal correspondent, Rupert Bell. Hi, Rupert.
Good afternoon, Kevin.
First of all, this is getting people quite energised, and I keep stressing, you know, I wish the King all the best. I hope that Saturday is a great day. I hope it's a great day for his family, for him, and I hope the nation has a fabulous party. But now that I am being commanded, in a way, to swear allegiance to His Majesty the King, I'm afraid I have to demur. I'm not going to be doing that because I think it's anachronistic, medieval, and frankly slightly ridiculous. What does he think he's playing at with this?
I think, first of all, you're only invited if you wish. So I think that says it all. There's no
they can't order, they can't make it.
No, but there it is. Yeah. That's the whole point of it. That if you feel like that, yeah, they understand. I think that because in the Abbey, people will be pledging their allegiance to him, and God Save the King will be ringing around at various times throughout the service. But I suppose they are thinking, well, if you are gathered around a television, wherever you may be, you may feel so minded. But as the word is invited, which is no one is commanding you to do it. And bearing in mind, it is the head of state, he is the head of state, and you are, I suppose, if you feel like it, you're pledging your allegiance to the institution rather than necessarily the current holder of the position of the head of state, as it were, which is the King. So that's the theory behind it, and probably in the television era feels a way that, because there are less dukes than everyone now, because the service was 3 hours back in 1953, as every duke pledged his allegiance, felt it was a way of embracing the country involved. And I'm sure lots of people, just like you, no one's saying you're not a proud Brit,
no.
But the point is you don't feel so minded to pledge allegiance. But we have a monarchy system. If you are, I was in the services, so I pledged allegiance on my commission to the Crown, because that's...
I think that's correct. I think that's right. And I think it's probably right that MPs have to pledge their allegiance. But it is interesting that the vast majority of TalkTV viewers are saying no to this. I say no to it. And I've spoken to people, you know, fervent royalists since this request was published. And it's important to stress it's actually a request from the Archbishop of Canterbury for us to pay homage to the King. But it's surprising how many people, fervent royalists, are just going, no, mate, this is medieval, this is outdated, this is wrong.
And I think because we're far less of a Christian society now, it's a very different feeling out there than when we were in 1953. And obviously they feel that this, in the television era, is a way for people, the church maybe, of bringing people together around the service to feel part of it. So I think that, and it would have been worked, the King would have been aware of this particular change as well, because every detail would have been analysed, seeing the pages on the service. So it's just part of that. But I'm sure, you know, most people probably won't think about it, but if you're going to a big screen in Hyde Park, maybe those people, because you're of that persuasion, you probably will. But again, I think probably most of the country will carry on doing what they're doing. If they're not watching it, they'll be travelling to football matches, race meetings, whatever, and probably won't be pledging allegiance.
Would you like another beer, or do you fancy swearing allegiance to the King? I'll take a beer, thanks.
Well, actually, that's good for the economy.
No. I mean, as I say, this is nothing against the King. I just feel this is rather medieval and strange. Not a great plan by him or the Archbishop of Canterbury, if you ask me, but kind of periphery, because you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But let's talk about Harry. I'm hearing there are serious fears at the palace that he might not even turn up, and they are, at the very least, they're extremely bemused by the fact that he hasn't told them anything about his visit. They don't know when he's coming, they don't know where he's going to stay, anything like that.
Well, this is really a reflection, probably, if these are the sort of bits of tittle-tattle coming out, the problems with Harry. the lack of communication, the lack of trust. He wants to control the narrative his way. He probably is checking all security arrangements, but I can assure you the security arrangements are absolutely intense for everything, so there should be no worries about his security, you'd hope. And to any member travelling to the coronation, bearing in mind there are world leaders coming from all over the shop to turn up, but where he's going to sit and everything, it's rather typical of him at the moment. He just seems to be wanting to add to the crisis around him. Just to, no, you've said you're coming, do your bit, make it easy for everybody so that you don't create these issues. There may not be any issues, but obviously if he wants to get out of the country as quickly as possible to go and be at his son's birthday party, then that's his story, because clearly he will have been at the service, which is the most significant part of the day and the weekend, and then he can go back and carry on with the rest of his life. But then he will have at least seen his father, finally be crowned king.
But, this is pure speculation, but it looks on the face of it as if Meghan has said to Harry, right, you can go to the coronation, but you better turn up for your son's birthday, because what we're hearing is he's going to come to the coronation, literally attend the service, and basically fly straight out. It could be as little as 4 hours he's here, if at all. But if he does that, he will then fly back, attend Archie's 4th birthday party. It sounds to me like Meghan might be cracking the whip a bit.
Well, I mean, if he's saying this is his new life with his family, he might also be wanting to be there. But clearly, that in a way, it's better off him being away and getting on with his life, and he can enjoy his son's birthday party. Not that I can remember my 4th birthday party. It's more of a thing for the parents.
Was that 20 years ago, something like that?
Well, absolutely, Kevin. You're extremely kind. The makeup did a great job in makeup this morning.
Not that good.
But the point is, it's very much for the parents, because 4-year-olds don't tend to remember their party, so it's a parental thing, and they feel they're doing the right thing. And bearing in mind, the king, I think, was 4 when he saw his mother being crowned. It shows you, but he can just about remember bits and bobs from that. But I can remember my first memory was at a 4-year-old, but don't remember my 4-year-old birthday party.
Yeah, nor do I. It was a while ago. Just before you go, Rupert, you've got a busy week ahead, obviously. But you're a golfer, I know, great sportsman. Donald Trump has arrived in Scotland to inspect his golf courses. He's catching some flack and some criticism for coming here on Coronation Week, trying to make the story all about him. I got to say, I feel that's slightly unfair. He's got a right to inspect his own property, but he's here.
Well, he hasn't been here since the state visit when he was president, and then he did go up to Scotland. He stayed at Turnberry. Melania was here. He's flown into Aberdeen Airport this morning in his private jet with Trump blazing on it. He does have golfing properties on both the west and east coast, most notably Turnberry, which was back in 2009 was the last time it was the open venue. His Scottish properties are losing money, and in some cases substantial money, but Turnberry is a fantastic golf course, but it is probably 2 reasons why they won't have the open there. It's because he owns the property, and obviously the RNA won't probably feel they have total control over the story if he does own it, but it's also the least commercially viable open venue at the moment because it is on a spur, so it's hard to get to, but it is a fabulous golf course. He's also going to Ireland as well. In Doombeg he's got another property, but they're all, but he's opening up a new course. There has always been ructions with the Scottish government about some of his developments, but he divides wherever he goes. You're either in his camp or not in his camp.
He certainly does divide wherever he goes. You're absolutely right. Rupert, great to talk to you. Thank you very much, and have a good week, because it's going to be hectic. That's Talk Radio's royal correspondent Rupert Bell with all the latest coronation news.